So we're here at the breeding farm this morning. We have 6 cooled that are going out this morning, and then so we'll end up freezing the rest. So that one thing that Keith does is we actually do the cool doses in a different extender than we do what we're gonna freeze. So I'm gonna let him explain that to you.
Typically ships best in the Boto Gold, but he does not spin well in the Boto Gold, so we spin him in the Kenny for the freezing, for the part that we're going to freeze. He ships the best of the Boto Gold.
So then we'll count it. We counted it on the blue box, which is right here, and then we also are going to count it on the nuclear counter.
Nuclear counter I have set at 21:1 dilution ratio, so that requires 200 microliters per mixed with 4 cc's of reagent. The sample goes up through these channels and it soaks up a dye right here, and it comes up to this window and it counts the sperm cells in that window.
Okay, so because Audios is pretty popular, we do ship out low dose deep horn when we do have cooled. I don't see that changing in the foreseeable future. So Keith's gonna talk about a little bit about deep horn.
So low dose deep horn insemination pipette, I prefer these that Pets in Canton, Texas makes and sells, and it has an inner catheter in there, and so this is taken through the cervix and then rectally guided up to the horn on the side that the follicle is on. And with this inner catheter and the very small circumference of the inside of this catheter, there's very little waste, virtually no waste. While with a regular insemination pipette, because of surface tension, when you invert a regular insemination pipette, you end up with 2 or 3 cc's not in the mare, because surface tension keeps it inside that bigger diameter of that regular insemination pipette. So that's why I recommend using the low dose deep horn insemination pipettes, which this is one of them here. You can see the inner catheter inside here. The only thing about these things, you have to make sure that that inner catheter is deeply seated on the distal end of your pipette. If that is not seated deeply, you can end up with semen that's inside the other tube here.
So now we're gonna draw up all the semen doses for today, and then they have a label that we're gonna put on them, and then we'll get them ready to ship out, and then Keith will freeze the rest of the semen from today, and that's gonna help us continue to add to our frozen while we're home in between futurities right now. Ends up being 64 million per cc of semen extended, right? Okay, and then which means we're gonna give each dose has 8.5 cc's, which is gonna be 550 million per deep horn dose. What's the standard to send out for a deep horn dose?
That can vary from stallion to stallion. With low dose deep horn, I've bred mares with as low as 100 million cells in a low dose deep horn, which might only be 2 cc's, depending on the concentration that we have on that particular collection. But I like to ship out a kind of minimum of 400 million cells, but it can vary from stallion to stallion. And like I said, a fertile horse like this, you could probably be okay breeding with 200 million cells. And
we would just get a lot of complaints.
Right, probably so.
Thank you. Okay, so this is today's collection, and we have this one from last Wednesday. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, five days old here. And today. So the really cool thing about managing my own stallion is that I really get to have like a more hands-on approach to this. I usually know mostly what's going on. Breeding season is just tough kind of for everybody, but so now it's 5:45 and we're done with this part of our day, but also Adios is going to see Dr. Lee today, so that's the next leg of our journey. But I just wanted to share a little bit about the breeding farm. If you guys had any questions, go ahead and drop them, and normally after this I would just take Adios home and turn him out for a little bit, or if we're gonna go ride early in the morning, then I will throw him on the trailer with everything else and we will go get him rode. When you have young stallions, it actually is like my favorite. All last year when he was here, he would come to the breeding farm and then I would take him back to the land and go ride him, so that he always had to like just know the difference between here and work. So but if you guys have any questions, let me know, and hopefully you guys enjoyed our content today.